Hello everyone. Welcome to Lunch with Laura. I am Laura Lee Collet. I live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today we're going to talk a little bit about a suite I am using in the new January-June mini catalog that Stampin' Up! Puts out this time of the year. We also have celebration going on, which lasts January and February. And for every $50 you spend in one of the catalogs, you get to pick something free. So that's always exciting. So let's take a look before I show you my card. And I'm going to flip you down. There we go. Okay. Now, I'll make sure that you can see everything. And we'll get going. I hope you have had a nice week. We have been very busy at my house. On Friday, I had the start of my BOGO sale with over 200 items and had a good response to that. If you missed out, look for it in the coming months, or maybe I'll wait until next year after Christmas. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's fun and it's a good place to see and get things that are retired for free, and then also get new items out of the catalog. The suite I'm featuring today is called the Dandy Garden Suite. So you can see some of the, and if you'll look right here, you can see that the Dragonfly is the featured thing in the catalog. Now the whole suite, if you were to get that, you would get one of all of these. There actually are two stamp sets. One is with dies, the other is with this adorable little punch that we're going to be using in a few minutes. You also get the Memories and More cards. This is some laser cut paper. I'm going to raise that up. Not sure how well that'll show up. Then you can get Memory and More cards, these precious little ladybugs. And these, they're called Ladybug Trinkets. They're $7.50 for 20 pieces. And isn't that adorable? And I use glue dots to adhere those. You get this linen thread that I'll be using on our card today also. And then this gorgeous paper. Now, this is called the Dandy Garden. And I'm just going to flip through this so that you can see. There are so many beautiful colors in here. I'll kind of fan that out. That's upside down. So some of these are patterns so that you need to pay attention to whether it's right side up or upside down. We're going to be using 3 different ones today of this. Look how pretty. Aren't these gorgeous? And they just stand out so nicely. Love the blue. So that gives you an idea of what you get. They're already cut 6 by 6. So let's take a look, and let me tell you which 2 stamp sets and bundles go with this suite. You have the Garden Wishes with the Dandy Wishes die. That's $51.25 with a 10% discount. So that's the Garden Wishes bundle. But the one I'm using today is the Dragonfly Garden. And like I said, it comes with that cute Dragonfly punch for 10% off, and it is $36.75. Now, before I put that away, I want to show you in celebration, there are two things I wanted to point out to you again. If you host a party and it's $300 or more, you get this punch party for stamp set for free, just for hosting. Isn't that great? Then, if you have ever thought about signing up and joining as a demonstrator for Stampin' Up, remember you can be a hobbyist and still reap the benefits of 20% off, or you could maybe be a hobbyist like I was in the beginning and then later go on and become a demonstrator where you're making a little money. So you can pick $125 worth of products for $99. And if you join during celebration, you're going to get 6 6x6 stacks of the newest designer series paper. And here's just a little idea of what you're going to get right there. Okay, I'm going to put both of those aside. And I want to be sure that you see the host code. I'm going to put that right there. So it says BOGO host code, but I'm doing it for the whole month of January. Okay, let's get with it. The card that I made, we had an on-stage event in November where we got to see some of the products that were coming out. That's another advantage of being a demonstrator. We also got to pre-order some of the sets. So during our meeting, we used the same stamp set I'm using today and made these 3 adorable cards. All of them use the Dragonfly and the punch, and then the designer series paper. So the one I selected for us to do today is this one. I made this one yesterday. I didn't get around to putting the little dragonflies on there, but it has a wider frame around it of the Blackberry Bliss. So you'll have to tell me which one you like the best. I ended up going back with the one that we had done at our meeting. And so let me tell you what supplies you're gonna need along with your Dragonfly Garden stamp set and your punch. You're going to need Blackberry Bliss, Smoky Slate, and I've cut 2 of these, one for the front of the card and one for the inside since it's such a dark color. Then these are 2x2 squares of different patterns. And of course you can choose whichever ones you want, but we're going to put that on the front and then punch some of the little small butterflies. Dragonflies. I'm using old Mossy Meadow ink, and then we'll be tying with 18 inches of the thread. All right. Now, I have scored our 8.5 inch by 5.5 inch card at 4 1/4. I'm going to fold it backwards and take my little trusty tool here to get a good nice crease. Then you're going to cut 2 of the Smoky Slate. They'll be 4 by 5 1/4 inches. And then I mentioned that these were 2x2 and 18 inches for your ribbon. And then you're just going to use a little scrap for your little tiny dragonflies. Okay. Now, I'm going to set the card base over there, and we're going to look at the card, the layer that goes on top. And as you can see, we have the sentiment that says, "For a true friend," and we have some flowers. I'm going to stamp, and I'm using my Mossy Meadow. I'm going to stamp the sentiment first, and that'll help me place where the flowers are going. So I'm tapping, make sure that it's covered well. And I'm going to put it down in the left hand bottom corner. Do y'all have any idea how much I have to think before I say left and right? I am left-handed, and I think all of us that are left-handed have, you know, a time. Oh, I need that. But we can be driving in the car and Rod will say, take a right, and I immediately go to the left, or vice versa. So, anyway, but I got it right. It's in the bottom left-hand corner. Now, when I have a stamp that's large, or a background stamp, I like to turn my ink pad over and ink up my stamp like this. Okay, it's good and inked up. And as you can see on the card, it went the, that looks like a Lazy Susan to me, flower right there. So I'm gonna put it at the top, and part of it'll stamp off, and I'm going to put it right next to the little sentiment there. I am also using my squishy pad so that I can get a good impression on that. The next thing we're going to do is decide which colors you want to use and lay them down. I'm going to flip these over and take my Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to put 2 little strips of adhesive there on each one. So this one's going up at the top, and I'm going to leave a little frame, and then I'll repeat it with the other one at the bottom. And this one's going to go next. And see how the little flowers are right the correct side up? And these little fan shapes, I'm not sure what you call those, but that's going to overlap a little bit on the flowers. But again, I'm going to leave that little border down here. Okay. Next, you have the piece that goes on top. And I wanted all these colors to show. Aren't those beautiful? And I'm gonna put it about right there. Let me tell you what all the colors are. It's amazing that all of these go together. It's basic black, Blackberry Bliss, which is the color of our base card, Bumblebee, that's a new in color, Calypso Coral, Misty Moonlight, which is my favorite. That's the blue that you saw. Mossy Meadow, and Whisper White. Now, next thing I'm going to do, and you need to do this before. Oops, and I see I got a couple little smudges on there. Look at this. This week has not been a good week for me in ink. I got it all up under my fingernail, but let me wipe my hands so I don't get it anywhere else. But remember, that's just an excuse for an embellishment. I'm going to wrap my ribbon around, and I do it a little more than 3 times. So this came out to be about 18 inches. And for me, my longer end is on the right. So I'm gonna go around, and I think I've told you that I always tie upside down, because if I don't, the little feet of the ribbon stick up in the air the wrong way. Okay, now that looks good, and I'm gonna take my scissors and trim off that other side. So now we're ready to put the dimensionals on the back of the card and adhere it to the card base. I like to use one on each, and you see how I've cut up all of my frame around my dimensionals so that they you can use every piece of this. Okay, peel those off. And we're going to put it on the card front. So it's going to go right here. Now, see that little boo-boo right there? I'm going to take a little glue dot. I'm going to roll it up so that it looks like a little long, cylinder shape. I'm going to put it right on the ink that I don't want to show. And then I'm going to put my ribbon down. And that takes care of that one. Then we're going to put one of those cute little ladybugs. It'll look like it has just flown to one of those flowers there. And I'm just going to put that on top. So see, you can fix just about anything. The next thing we're going to do is, I'm going to put that out of the way, and we're going to do our punching. So if you just want the little ones, you just need a little strip of paper. And there's 1, 2, 3. Again, I'm going to be using the glue dots. Make sure it doesn't leave some behind. And they just fit right in the middle of these little small dragonflies. So I'm going to put one there, one here, and I think we'll put the other one down here by the, make sure that that's covered up. Okay, so there's the outside of your card. Now, you also need, let's see what I did here. I went a little crazy with the dragonflies, so I'm not going to do quite that many so that the little sentiment will show up. And it says, may good things grow all year long. That would be a good birthday card. So I'm going to get my little pad back over here to give me some give. And I'm going to take the little butterfly stamp, but before I do that, I'm going to do my greeting, my sentiment on the inside. And I'm lining it up. I don't have my little laminated grid thing today, but you can use these grid sheets to measure this way and around. You can also measure inches, like when you're cutting ribbon. Now, I think what I'll do this time is I'm just going to go on one side. That way, that looks better and you can see it better. Now, if you want to go crazy, you can get your blends out or your markers and color the little dragonflies, but I'm going to leave them plain. And I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal, go around the edges, and we're going to put this in the middle. Okay, so there is your card. For a true friend, you can move that over a little bit if you want. May good things grow all year long. Now, I even, don't leave a naked envelope, so I even did the green for a big dragonfly. So that'll make a cute, cute presentation. And let's look back at some of these other cards. I'm going to close up my ink. Now, on this card, they used the bumblebee color with the 3 pieces of designer series paper, and they used Misty Moonlight for the to make the sentiment pop out. But all of these are popped up with dimensionals, and I think that one turned out really cute. And then they did this out of the DSP too. And then on this one we had 2, for a true friend and you are an inspiration. Again, they used strips of the same designer paper. So when you have a little bit left over, don't throw it away, because you can use it for something. Even if it's not long enough to go all the way across, you can split it in 2 and have it poke out on both sides. And then they did the little fluttering dragonflies or butterflies up and down on that card. Okay, now let me see. Here is our host code if you want to place an order with me. Be sure to like my page if you would, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will have this on YouTube, so anybody that missed it, please direct them to my YouTube channel. I think they can find it under Laura Collet, and it's C-O-L-L-E-T. My website is stampinatthebirdnest.com. And there, if you do not have a catalog in your hand, you can view it there. If you want a catalog, contact me and I'll be glad to put one in the mail for you. So, until next week, I think last week I ran a little long, and this week I'm running a little short. So, enjoy your week. Oh, I was going to tell you right quick what all, besides the BOGO that was going on, I am trying to sell some of my mother's Fostoria. So that, again, has kept me on my computer and Facebook. And then on Sunday, we started our little precious French Bulldog Ziggy in obedience classes. So she's going to school, and I even made a sign. I'll have to print the pictures for you. I made a sign that's hung around her neck that said Ziggy's first day at school. And then, of course, I had to get one with the teacher. So I'm going to have to make a cute scrapbook page out of that. Well, y'all keep stamping through all this craziness. Stay safe, and come back next week. I would love to see you again, and I'm going to flip this back up so that I can say goodbye to all my friends out there. Take care, stay safe, keep stamping, and don't forget we've got all kinds of goodies going on with the new mini catalog and celebration. Love you. See you next week. Bye.